No way, guys, we're tight right now. Looks like a koi. My first fish in China. Yes, on the Tenkara style rod. This thing's bent over pretty good. Beautiful red looking fish. Let's see if we can land this thing. Epic. We are finally not skunked. Welcome to another episode with Real Hustle. We're being escorted by a Chinese police officer to the lake where it's $50 Chinese money to go fishing. $100 Chinese money is worth about $13 USD. So that's where we're at. You guys stay tuned now. Thanks for watching.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
It's not an easy skill to learn. I've been practicing it for many years.
Alright, so here's the deal. They have these really big rods. They're like 16 feet long with no reel on them. I think they're called hand spikes. And you can pay to fish this place. It's full of grass carp is what I understand. But they won't allow me to fish with a fly rod here. They said the only way you can fish here is with one of these big, long, collapsible hand spike type rods. So I don't have one of those. She said she doesn't rent them. As far as I understand, that's what she said. But she said I could go buy one somewhere. And I think I'm just gonna go find a little spot you don't pay for and still sling the fly out. But this place is loaded up. I would definitely nailed some grass carp on my fly rod right now, so it's kind of a bummer. Well, I haven't found more water yet. My phone's kind of dying, but look at this place I stumbled across right here. I mean, this guy has a full spread of just all kinds of good stuff. I mean, he's got all this put out probably every day, just loaded. So I just found another piece of water where I put my fly rod together. I'm gonna slap the reel on it next and just throw something out there. So we're just gonna whip a little light roll cast out here. And we're out. All right, so we're all rigged up. I actually just had another guy walk up on me and he had a fishing rod in his hand, one of those collapsible ones. And we didn't understand each other, so he went to the next spot down. But maybe that tells me there's some fish here. Just stuck a roll cast over by the bush over here. Thought I'd show you guys kind of what it's looking like. Funky little canal. I have seen some movement, so there is fish in here. I just don't know what. Well, I haven't seen any action, and I'm starting to get chewed on by some gnarly mosquitoes. And you don't want to get eaten by mosquitoes in China, because they carry some gnarly diseases. So we'll see. I'm going to give it a little bit longer. I did see one more fish that was about 20 inches. Tan in color, cruising the top on the other side. Something tells me it was a catfish. Just gonna try and move down a little bit. Well, this spot looks somewhat fishable. Let's throw a few casts out here. Well, it didn't happen for me today, but I'm not giving up. So we will get back out and change our strategy. Let's get back to the house for now. Am I good to go? Do I have to push a button? Thank you.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
It's not an easy skill to learn. I've been practicing it for many years.
Alright, so there's a little river running through Hong Kong right here, and I'm just gonna go tie a few flies on and see if I can get hooked up. Alright guys, so I'm here in the city of Hong Kong. I just rigged up a rod and a reel. I have no idea what's in this little river right here, or if anything's biting, but let's throw it in there and see what happens. Very first look at it, there's a lot of funky looking stuff floating in there. I just started, this is my first cast.
Of course.
I'm sure there's some fish in here though, huh?
Yes, of course, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's water. There should be fish.
Yeah.
Does this connect to the ocean, yeah? Not much room here behind me, so all I can do is roll cast. I'm getting about 30 feet of distance and just stripping these two small streamers back. No bumps so far, but I got a feeling there's something out there that might be ready to give me a tug. Well, I gave it about 30 minutes while Jade and her grandma were getting massages. I didn't end up getting any bites, but you know what? It's just our first night in Hong Kong, so definitely I'll give it a shot again. All right, so grandma said we don't go to dinner for another hour and a half. We're pretty close to a little piece of water. So for 1 hour, I'm gonna go soak some rods. I got a fly rod and I got grandpa's spinning rod that seemed pretty locked up, but I got a feeling I can work it free and maybe cast out like a catfish bait on this little spinning rod while I fly fish out to the side. So here we go. Ni hao wana. All right, so we got picked up again. We're being escorted by a police officer down to this little piece of water, and it's not very far, but we're thankful anyways. He offered me the ride, so I took it. Shay. All right, so he just dropped me off on this little piece of water. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting rigged up. So here's grandpa's little spinning rod, and it is locked up. Let's see if I can break it free. Yeah, just the drag does not want to spin. Oh, there it goes. She broke free. Oh yeah, baby. So I've been seeing a pretty good sized fish that's like white in color, and he's moving pretty fast. I couldn't tell if he was trying to eat some bait fish, so I just put on a streamer and I'm just trying to strip it around. I don't know what to mimic because I don't know what the little small fish in here are, but hopefully I get a thump. There he is, guys. It's not the best view of him, but that's a solid fish over there. I have no idea what it is either. Once again, no bites. Time to go to dinner. Grandma's coming down to open the door. I didn't catch anything today.
You don't know how to use that?
I'm in a fishing store right now and I'm buying this collapsible rod and I'm getting the whole set. I guess that's where you hand line it on. And there's the spool she's getting ready to spool on there.
320.
Tenkara?
That
I don't know how to use it, but I'm gonna have to learn. And the whole set. So right now she's hooking me up with some hooks. And over here she's getting my line wound all on that hand thing. And this rod extends out to like 14 feet long. So we're in the water now. So everybody just got out of the car and I'm still in here with the uncle, and it sounds like he's taking me fishing. We don't speak any of the same language whatsoever, but we'll see where he takes us. I've got some fishing gear and some cameras in the car, and hopefully we get hooked up. Maybe he's gonna put us on the spot. I have no idea. All right, so we just stopped by that little fish market where we bought about 10 little sardine kind of minnows for bait. It probably equivalated to like less than 20 cents American. We gave them 2 won, 2 $1 bills for won is what they call their money. But nonetheless, we got some bait. We've even got some chicken liver and some random pieces of goose. And I got a couple different styles of rod. I got this collapsible telescopic tenkara rod, native Chinese style. I've got my fly rod, and we've got grandpa's little cheap spinning rod. So let's see what we can do. So I'm starting to see some water down there. I'm not exactly sure what he just said, but I think we're getting closer to the spot. All right, so I just put my stuff down. I'm out on this little rock section. There is a couple guys fishing here. I don't really know how to fish this spot, but I'm gonna cast out some stuff like I said, and we'll see if anything happens. So we got the drag set real loose with a bait out on that rod. We're gonna bust out the fly rod next. All right guys, so I'm busting this out. Basically it comes extending out from right there, but first you got to pull the line off this little like kite handle. It's all wrapped up. Once you get all the line off, it then connects to your tip like that. So then you start pulling this thing out. All right, there we are. We've got some duck liver and a goose chunk, and we're gonna slap that out there and see what happens. So these guys got little crappie bobbers out with this huge tenkara style, and they're tipping it with like shrimp or something small. I've got some big bait out, so if I catch a big old catfish in front of these dudes, it's gonna be pretty epic.
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Be water, my friend.
Well, I got skunked again. Looks like Uncle's putting me on one more spot to try. So we're at another little spot that's even smaller river, little browner water. Just got my first cast and my first drift. See if we can get a bite here. And then after your drift is done, you drag it up and you just yoke it back out there. All right, we're back in position. I got my tenkara style rod out there with the crappie bobber. We're floating this weird looking pellet thing and also a piece of corn. Hopefully we can get a bite today. So here's the bait they were selling. Has a carp on the picture. No clue what it is. I got a feeling it's gonna be really stinky though, so let's open it up and find out. No way, guys, we're tight right now. Looks like a koi. My first fish in China. Yes, on the tenkara style rod. This thing's bent over pretty good. Beautiful red looking fish. Let's see if we can land this thing. Epic. We are finally not skunked. We got our first fish in China, guys. No way, epic.
Be formless, shapeless, like water.
It's not an easy skill to learn. I've been practicing it for many years.
All right, guys, I just got another bobber drop, and this is my second fish in China. I've been getting these tiny little bites, and I just got hooked up and caught a second fish. We're on them now, boys. So I'm walking over to the spot where you're supposed to pay to fish this lake. This time I've got the right weapon in hand, so hopefully they don't deny me this time.
Okay, now.
Say.
Okay, because here we have the 3 people. If another one, you can show the bill.
Okay.
Okay.
Say.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Today we're here in Guangdong, China, Haksan. And I've got a ninja stick, tenkara style, Chinese fishing rod. I'm gonna show you guys how that works next. So it comes in this black bag. Basically you open up this slit right here and it starts to pull out. In here I have the rod and I have a tube with a crappie bobber. So we'll be rigging that up next. Pull the rod out. Almost looks a lot like a pool stick. Really colorful, lightweight. You pull the plug at the very end, and what I usually do to start is I'll start to pull a little bit of this line off, and I just pull it out. There's a very specific set length to how much line you have. As you can see, there's no reel on this rod, so you pull all the line off this kite handle here. Once you get it all off, I've got about 15 feet of it. The very end of that line is actually rigged up to the tip of your rod, and it just starts extending out like this, telescopic style. So once you get to the first part, you just pull it a little bit. There's the second part, you pull it. Third part, and you've got about, I don't know, 12 or 14 feet of rod here. Take this little plug that plugged the end and you just pocket it. Now I'm gonna come down here to the rigging. Get your crappie bobber out. Now the end of that has this little rubber thing here that you basically just stick the tip of your crappie bobber into this little rubber stopper. And then from there you've basically got a couple little rubber stoppers to set your depth. So I'm gonna pull these down a little bit, and that's where that crappie bobber is gonna stay, keeping my bait about 2.5, 3 feet underwater. So you pretty much hold the rod by the butt, you grab your rigging, and it's as simple as this. And you just sit back and watch your crappie bobber. So far this spot's really shallow. I had to shorten my rig a lot. We're gonna give it a shot for a little while. I know carp do cruise in shallow water, but if it doesn't work out, we're just gonna move spots a little bit. Some dude just rolled up on me on a scooter, had a bit of a laugh at me, and then handed me this. So Maybe this is the magic ticket. I just changed out the bait. Current situation, just sitting back waiting for old crappie bobber to drop.
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Be water, my friend.
Just switched up the spot back to where I caught that koi the other day. There's another guy fishing to my left, was really cool, and he said come sit down and fish next to him. Not in the English narrative, but pretty much with hand signals, so here we go. So I made a new friend over here who's also fishing. He's been getting banged off by some little guys, and fishing's such a universal language. He looked at me, I looked at him, he smiled, I smiled back. He goes, smoke? I said, sure. I don't even smoke, but I'm not gonna turn the guy down, so we're hitting this thing. Oh, I got a bite. Almost looked promising. Had to drop the phone there for a second. We're tight. It's not big white. It's a good one though. We're tight. It's not big white, but we're gonna drag them up. All right guys, we just got a bigger cichlid on the Tenkara Chinese style fishing rod. My biggest one yet. Super stoked on that fish. We're not gonna release this fish. I think this guy's keeping him. So I'm gonna give him off. Sick fish nonetheless.
I said empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
It's not an easy skill to learn. I've been practicing it for many years.